Hi, my loves. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. It's that time of year. It's my favorite season. My favorite season is fall. I also like Christmas and winter. I just love decorating and I love cooking. But I love fall. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Sweater weather. I just love it. I want to talk to you guys about a word that I received for someone today. And this is a direct confirmation for someone. Okay? But as I tell you guys all the time, even though a word may be for somebody, we may learn certain things throughout the word. There may be bits and pieces that you can take away from the word, although it's not your word, but you can definitely take it away knowledge-wise, wisdom-wise, and apply it to your life. And it may even help you in your situation, even if it's not the exact situation I'm talking about. This is a direct word for someone, and this is confirmation, and you literally asked God if these specific two people were involved, and the confirmation is yes, there's two people involved. There's two people involved. This is, like I said, this is a very specific word because the person was praying or questioning whether two people were involved in their attacks or in a setup or whatever took place. I know for sure it's something to do with the turmoil you're going through and the obstacles you're going through, and you suspected two people. You know what I mean? Of course, it's not a word for everybody, so you still have to take it to God, because you don't want to be accusing someone that didn't do anything to you. But like I said, the person that the word is for will understand, because this is like a very direct, as in like, wow, there's no coincidence, as in like, I just prayed about this yesterday, or I just prayed about this today, or I just suspected this today. But these two people are involved. Okay, now this is where a lesson comes in for many of us, and I spoke to someone about this the other day too. When we go through turmoils and obstacles and attacks, sometimes we tend to direct our anger towards God, because we're like, God, why are you allowing this to happen? God, why don't you stop this? God, why do I have to keep going through this? And sometimes you may be like, I'm just done. I'm just tired. I don't even want to continue anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I'm just done. And you may direct your anger towards God for what someone else is doing. And this could be in any area. Although I'm talking about the specific case with the two people, this lesson in this word can relate to any area. Okay, and I'm going to give you an example. Let's just say that you have been praying for your wife or your husband to come in, and God has shown you who the person is. And you've been praying for them consistently, right? But you guys are not on the same walk. They're not as discerned as you are right now. They're not walking towards Christ like you are right now, right? So you may find out something about them that hurt your feelings, and you're like, man, I'm just done. I'm tired of, like, why do I have to go through this? And you may be upset at the person because you found out some information about them, but because you're upset at them, you're now discouraged when it comes to praying for them. And now you're discouraged and don't even want to pray to God, don't even want to follow your routines or do what you usually do. You don't even want to take your time to pray anymore. You don't even want to fast anymore. It's like you being upset at someone else, you misplaced that anger towards God. And it's like now you don't want to do what you're supposed to do as a child of God because you're mad at someone else. When in all actual reality, what that person did has nothing to do with God. I'm talking about the relationship aspect, as in like that man or that woman that's not walking with God yet, that's still in their ways of the world and not faithful or not loyal or doing whatever they're doing. That has nothing to do with God. That's not God's fault. That person has free will, just like you have free will, right? But we can't get angry at God because of what someone else is doing. You see what I'm saying? So you still have to pray, and you still have to comply and keep your relationship stable with God despite what's going on around you. And we have to make sure that we are not using God as a scapegoat. So when someone else betrays us or gets mad or does something to us that we're not too fond of, we get angry at God And now it's like we don't want to give our time to God because we're mad at what someone else did. And it's like, that's not God's fault. We can't use God as a scapegoat. You know what I mean? Faith is mainly tested when things are rough. Because if things are always going well for you, of course you're going to have faith. But what proves your faith is continuing to have that same faith despite what you have to battle, despite what you're going through. Keeping that same energy. Okay, God, this person betrayed me. This person's not loyal. This person hurt my feelings. But that doesn't stop me from praying to you. That does not stop me from building my relationship with you. That does not stop me from loving you. That does not stop me from reading the word. Do you get what I'm saying? Because had things been positive and had you seen things the way you wanted it to go, God would be receiving all the glory, yes, but you would continue fasting, praying, reading the word. Don't let, because of what someone else did to you or is doing to you, don't let that put a strain in your relationship with God, because your relationship with God is outside of your relationship with that person or these people. Your relationship with God is outside of any other relationship that you may have. God and your relationship is on a whole nother level. Okay? I wanted to share that lesson for everybody. But in this particular case, I want you to understand that these two people that are involved, God is going to deal with their case. Just because you don't see God doing something now, even though he's doing something, it's just behind the scenes. But just because you don't physically see him doing something now, does not mean that he ain't working behind the scenes. You get what I'm saying? Had the attacks not happened, you wouldn't know how to fast. You wouldn't know how to pray. You would not even know the importance of your purpose. Because when people attack you, you know that there's something huge and something big that God is doing in your life for people to have to come after you like that. The attacks is what literally, alerts us of how important our purpose truly is. You see what I'm saying? And let me tell you something, as I said it many times, people will think that they're getting away with things, but I want you to understand that they're not getting away with things. God will allow these people to think that they are getting away with things. He will allow them to think this way. And let me tell you something. Do you not know that when someone has to come up against you and plot against you, and they have to bring other people to do it, and they have to attack you, and whatever they're doing to you, do you not know that these people are already miserable? They're already miserable. Because a happy person, a person that is content with the way things are going in their life, they won't even be worried about coming up against you. They won't even be worried about your purpose and trying to figure out how to block your purpose, how to stop you, how to cause obstacles on your path. They wouldn't be worried about that because they'll be so happy and so content with their own. They would be so happy and content with their own life. A person that is consistently choosing to come up against you and consistently choosing to attack you, best believe they're not happy with their life. Best believe they're not content. Okay? So understand that God is working on things behind the scenes, and everything is on God's timing. It's not on our God, and not on our timing. It's on God's timing. So God knows how to orchestrate everything for it to work in your favor. Because you have to understand, in order for there to be a testimony, there has to be a test. But you also have to understand, in order for God to teach your enemies a lesson, he has to first let them think they're getting away with what they're getting away with. So when he prospers you in front of them and he prepares that table, they will understand why he picked you in the first place. They will understand why he elevated you. They will understand why they are now your footstool. See, when God gives lessons to people, he has to give lessons with understanding, because God says, lean not on your own understanding, because you're not supposed to understand what he's doing. But when he gives you a lesson, he will give you understanding, because it's understanding from him, not your own understanding, but understanding through him. Okay? I love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.